Good evening, everyone. I'm going to be picking up where I left off in the last video. I just happened to catch this little guy kind of clipping through the world. Thought it was a little entertaining. But anyways, I'm going to be turning in Warrior's Redemption. From up here, I got the perfect view of the havoc you just caused. Our lost brothers reclaimed some of their dignity, and the Alliance dogs were sent scrambling. Sharp work, my friend. If the Alliance sleeps comfortably at night, we are not doing our job. We will never give up or never let up. We will never give in. And feeding the fear. Good, good. It'll take them many sleepless nights to figure out where we came from and where we disappeared to after the kills. And I don't think I mentioned it. In fact, I know I didn't mention it. I don't know how long this video is going to be, as you may or may not have heard in my last few videos. If my baby wakes up, I will need to end my recording. Put the fear in them. Excellent, Star Killer. It will be some time before we can assault the hold proper. But until then, we must teach them to fear the Barons. The Low Road. Kill Rock's pages through the plans you discovered. This explains much. No wonder our foes are so hell-bent on taking the Southern Barons. It's at the center of their plans for the continent. But they didn't account for us, did they, priest? Stalling the survey. These maps have all been drawn by the same steady hand. I've seen a human surveyor heading up and down the road between the hold and the jungle to the east. We can set up their plans. We can set their plans back by making an example out of this surveyor. Killrock points to the signature at the bottom of the maps. What do you think that says? Zykes? Even human names sound thin and weak. Kill him. And I just want to see. We are outnumbered here. Our ties to the crossroads and Duratar severed. But one orc is worth 10 Alliance cowards. We will bottle them up in this pass and gut them like swine. Killrock, how did we lose Honor's stand? It was a clever ruse, Starkiller. Alliance forces streamed out of Northwatch and marched up the Gold Road, besieging crossroads as dusk fell. Then, in the heart of the night, they force-marched southward, leaving their campfires burning behind. Our meager forces at Honor's Stand were caught unawares as the Alliance poured through the pass at dawn's first light. Many of our bravest warriors fell before their blades. This was before the cataclysm? Yes. We regrouped east of the pass and prepared the counterattack. But the next day the skies reddened and the land was cleaved in two, as easily as a child might split open a cactus apple. See how the devastation stretches from horizon to horizon. Our Alliance foes in the makeshift bunkers For as surprised and disorganized as we were by the disaster, it would have been the perfect time to strike. But Warlord Gardel insisted we pull back to refortify. Kilrock spits on the ground. Not all of us followed. I stood toe to toe with demons in the last war. I'm not about to turn tail and let the Alliance plant roots on my soil. You and your men stayed behind to fight. To fight, yes. To die, likely. But we will give them no ground, priest. We are outnumbered. Our armor is patchwork. Our weapons scavenged. But this is our land. Our Tauran allies know every hidden trail, crevice, and pass through these hills. We descend from the high ground where they least expect us, then disappear into the terrain like phantoms. Fear is our weapon, and we will strike at them unceasingly. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen my last playlist, but basically this all used to be the horde. Personally, as a primarily Alliance player, Alliance has no business in the Barrens. Coming from an Alliance player, I don't know, we don't really use Theramore. It's kind of an irrelevant place these days, but yeah. Yeah, we don't need to be in the bear. Now, Ashen Vale? The Horde need to get out of Ashen Vale. That shit's for the Alliance. That is Night Elf territory. They can have the Barrens. Stalling the survey. Good, good. We've got to keep Honor's stand isolated, alone, afraid. If we keep up the pressure, maybe someday they'll simply surrender the pass. Raptor scraps. Terror-tooth raptors hunt in packs and surround their prey. We hunt them, yes, but we also respect them. Anate looks over the fresh hides, nodding her head slowly. Yes, Starkiller, I can work with these. You work fast. These hides will help us hold out for reinforcements longer. Thank you. Ooh, I'm now honored with Thunderblood. Ooh. And it is sending me down here. To check on that girl's brother. Signals in the sky. So, my sister recognized the old signals. Her hunter's eyes are as sharp as ever. When we first set up this camp, we were at the edge of this jungle. Now look at it. Something is amiss. Keeping the dogs at bay. Not everyone who fled Tarajo was able to make it to Unafe. Some died of wounds along the way. Others were jumped by opportunistic quillboar. I'll take care of the grim task of finding and gathering the bodies, but there is something you can do for me. Hecklefang scavengers prowl the lands south of here and are savaging the corpses. I don't know if that was supposed to be scavenging, but they're savaging the corpses, tearing at their bowels and dragging away the limbs of the dead. Please, thin their number so that I can perform the proper funerary rites. Bad to worse. When the refugees fled north from Tarajo, some were separated as darkness closed in. Many were taken prisoner by the bristleback quillboar, who set up camp west and southwest of here. I am not certain what the quillboar hoped to get from us by capturing our refugees. All they have earned is my ire, and all they'll get in return is vengeance. Rescue my trapped brothers and sisters, and kill their captors to send a message to the quillboar. When plants attack, this camp was built at the edge of this jungle, and already it is overwhelmed by plant growth. Something unnatural is happening here. Earlier, I made the mistake of sending some of the healthier refugees out to gather nuts and berries. Those that returned talked about the plant life actually grasping at their legs or even picking them up. I worry about those that haven't come back yet. Please, rescue the refugees trapped in the grasping overgrowth around the camp. That should be easy enough. And it's kind of saying the same thing as in the Northern Barrens. They were talking about overgrowth and the jungle growing things from infertile seeds. And these are also the bristleboar. It's need 8. I don't know why, but I read Blade Warden as Baldwin. It's not even close. Ooh, a blood shard. What's that? It must be like a crafting material, I'm guessing. What is... Oh, released from the cages. I'm actually surprised that the guards don't automatically attack when you open the cage, but I appreciate that it makes it a little quicker. Was that everything? Yeah. Keeping the dogs at bay. So, it is done. Normally, these scavengers are part of the Earth Mother's cycle of life, but on the heels of the devastation racked by both the Alliance and the Cataclysm, their numbers grow overwhelming. It is good to thin them out. Bad to worse. It's bad enough to have one's village sacked, but to spread the following night in a Quillbore cage? I'm glad you were there to help. Speaking their language, the Quillbore are attacking because they perceive weakness. Strength is the only language they understand, so we will show them strength. Makaba withdraws a large horn from his satchel. This is admittedly crude work, but it'll do. Bristleback leaders use horns like these to challenge one another for dominance. I want you to challenge the Bristleback champion, Sabersnout, to single combat. Defeat him in front of his followers. Blow the horn at the Bristleback challenge ring due south of here. When plants attack. Thank you, Starkiller. But now on to the larger question. Why is this overgrowth? Or where is this overgrowth coming from? And why is it raging out of control? A curious bloom. The great Archdruid Neralex recently appeared here in the Barrens. He's either behind this mess or trying to fix it. Either way, you should talk with him before this jungle engulfs the whole world. He's in a small Tauren camp to the southeast. Along the way, it would be helpful for you to gather plant samples for him to study. The newest flower buds will tell him a great deal about the most recent changes in the jungle. And I need 10 of those. I do appreciate that everything is pretty much outlined in gold. I think I made it like extra obvious in my settings as well. Like you can control how brightly they glow. Looks like I missed a quest though. Let's see. Oh, she's just hiding. A family divided. The children you see here were all rescued from Torajo when the fighting started and trying to track down their parents. One of the refugees you rescued from the Quillbore recognized the strongest child as belonging to the Kurge and Mari Sternhorn. Moreover, he said Kurge was camped at the Fields of Blood just north of the Tarajo massacre site. Please go there and tell Kurge Sternhorn that his child is alive and well. I'm gonna first go challenge that Quillbore. What is this? Gurgle, snort. The Blood Elf has come to challenge the mighty Saber Snout. I will make an example of Blood Elf, snort. Prepare yourself, Gurgle. Sort, soft for face. Speaking their language, have you taken the bristlebacks down a peg or two? What? He attacked you with a dozen boars? I guess Quillbore have their own ideas of what single combat means. Still, the bristleback will be left reeling after the blow you delivered. It will not be long before a new champion rises amongst them to stir up trouble. But at least this buys us some time to get these refugees relocated safely. Thank you. The survivors owe you a great debt. I'm gonna go turn in these plant samples to that Archdruid. A curious bloom. I am extremely busy, priest. Ah, samples from different parts of the overgrowth? These will be immensely helpful. Yes, thank you, priest. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize I had any achievements of these left. Anyways, biological intervention. The energies unleashed here have surged through the wildlife, twisting them into powerful and unstable forms. If allowed to spread beyond this grove, these deviates will wreak havoc on the existing ecosystem, devouring local prey and driving out the weaker natural creatures. You must go and call the population of the overgrowth. Return when this task is done. Adder subtraction. The corruption unleashed here must be studied if we're to find a way out of properly fighting it. Luckily, not all the creatures have been as altered as others. The smaller snakes drink little water and do not eat plants, so their exposure to the energies here has been minimal. They've still absorbed enough to change coloration. Go collect these snakes from the overgrowth and return them to me so we can see just what is happening to the creatures here. Lash vine seeds. There's got to be a way to cure these poor creatures without having to take their lives. I have an idea, but I'll need your help, priest. The lash vine plants that roam here hold seeds full of the primal energy of this place. Collect these for me and bring them back, and we'll see if something can be done. I was wondering when those mobs would be a quest objective, because I couldn't help but to notice the energy radiating off of them. I'm just going to enjoy a nice run through these beautiful plains. Seen any of those snakes yet? I don't know if they're gonna be as obvious as the rest of the mobs. It says they should be in this area. Yeah, why am I seeing like 0 of these adders? Enervated adder. Well, there is somebody else out here questing, but I feel like everything else has been so obvious and abundant that I should have seen some by now. Hmm. Oh, wow. They're itty bitty. And they're kind of hard to see. Like those two were close together, but it doesn't help that the flowers on the ground are also subtly moving. There's one over here. Jeez. Over here. Biological intervention. Thank you, Star Killer. I'm pleased to see you return intact. The viciousness I've been seeing among these creatures is startling. To harvest chaos. If I truly sown chaos, it is time for reaping. The lumbering outgrowths of plant life shamble through the imbued stream here. They are a direct manifestation of the unstable forces mutating this area. Slay as many as you can, and we might be able to slow the spread of the overgrowth further. And while you're at it, be on the lookout for parts of them that appear especially corrupted. Bring any such pieces to me. Add or subtraction. Have you collected enough? We'll need several for proper comparison. These will do perfectly. Bright colors like these don't occur naturally in the barrens, but they haven't developed any other mutations so far. Lashvine seeds. Do you have the seeds? I'm concerned by how active these are. Nevertheless, it simply means we must continue to act quickly before the corruption here becomes worse. Sowing a solution. Based on what you've brought me, I think we may have a solution. I've imbued the Lashvine seeds with healing energies. Simple contact with these should imbue the creatures here with enough energy to force out the corrupted influence. Go and attempt to heal the mutated raptors and planestriders by sprinkling the seeds on them, and report the results back to me. I've already forgotten. Am I supposed to kill these? I don't think it matters. It's just, I think, showing that crazy shit's happening. I don't know if they interact with me. They're neutral. I will admit the water looks pretty cool here. I know it's supposed to be like corrupted, but it's green and sparkly. I like it. Results observed from Deviant Plane Striders. Yes, because of the energy. I'm gonna go a little farther back up here because it's a different kind of plane strider. The more south I go. Results may vary. Yikes. Some of them spontaneously explode. Totally normal. Just fly through your hut there real quick. Sowing a solution. Oh dear. It seems the forces at work here are a bit difficult to control. Please, don't bother Neralex with this. It will only upset him. Okay. To harvest chaos. Actually, before I turn that in, I'm going to see what he has to say. As druids, we are tasked with protecting the balance of nature. My life's work has gone against this. In my folly, I have sown chaos, and this deviant crop must be reaped before it spreads further. Wait, what happened here? Did you know that the Barrens was once a lush forest? Thousands of years ago, before the first sundering, it was verdant and thriving, watched over by the Kaldori. But when the continents were torn apart, and this land became separated as what we call Kalimdor, this valley of nature became a harsh, sun-scorched plain. When I first learned this, I saw it as a great tragedy. I decided I would find a way to regrow the forests once more. How? While studying the land, I discovered a cave that stretched deep beneath the earth. These waterways carried underground rivers for miles beneath the parched savanna above. I named them the Wailing Caverns, for the howls made by the wind and the stream as they coursed through its depths. This would be the instrument of revival, I thought. The water had already bubbled to the surface as small, lush oases throughout the Barrens. If it were imbued, enhanced, this growth could spread across the entire land. So what did you do? My plan was to connect these underground waters directly to the Emerald Dream itself. With my faithful disciples, I journeyed deep within the Wailing Caverns, settled into meditation, and entered the dream. Through my own body, this world was connected to it. It was there that everything went wrong. Is this the sleeping druid? I'm gonna check if he doesn't tell me. What happened? I came upon what I can only describe as an overwhelming corruption within the Emerald Dream, an unending nightmare that seized me in its claws and tore at my very mind. They could not break free of its grasp. My disciples were unable to wake me. Whatever this corruption was, it found its way into our world through my body. I did indeed channel its energies into the Wailing Caverns, and its horrible influence twisted the wildlife there into chaotic, deviant forms. Even my disciples were affected, their minds overcome by madness and savagery. They took on the forms of serpents and called themselves the Druids of the Fang. How did you escape? I was saved by my last disciple, Muyo, and a band of adventurers. I considered the entire incident a failure. It wasn't until the cataclysm occurred that I realized I'd been far too successful. When the Barrens was cracked apart, a great font of underground water was breached and flowed up to the surface, full of the energies it was imbued with in the Wailing Caverns. Life immediately sprung from the earth around it, and the animals thrived, and then it continued to grow uncontrollably, unchecked. Now I have to answer for my arrogance in thinking I could dictate the flow and shape of nature myself. This overgrowth must be stopped before it chokes out the natural wildlife entirely. So he is the sleeping druid. To harvest chaos. Cutting down the outgrowth will merely buy us time. Have you found any suspicious pieces? Naralax slowly takes the squirming heart from you, visibly disturbed. I've been a fool. The one truth I did not want to accept has been staring me in the face this entire time. This foul thing is proof of that. You and I have much work to do. The nightmare scar. This confirms it. The overgrowth here is not being caused by a mere overabundance of energy. Do you understand? This is beyond what happened at the Wailing Caverns now. A rift into the nightmare must have torn open in the middle of the very land we're standing on. And to think it's my fault. I'm done picking at the edges of this wound. Go to the west, to the center of the overgrowth, and meet me again there. We will dive into the heart of this corruption and force it shut. I'm actually going to end the video here. I do hope you enjoyed it. I do find it interesting where the story is going, just because I've run the Wailing Caverns so many times in the past. So I hope you guys will see me in the next video, and I hope you have a good night and sweet dreams. Bye, guys.